All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're having a wonderful evening. It is a very important day today. We have a lot to go over. Not only are we going to talk about the long term, but I kind of have really good news for you about the market. If you didn't notice what happened today, we actually didn't notice what happened today. We actually didn't. Excuse me. So yeah, we are live here on a beautiful Thursday as well. But here's the good news, man. You should be rejoicing. We have actually moved to the high end of the range. So we have been talking about we go down, we go up, we won't move. And now today, I think something pretty decent happened, and I think I can define it for you. And it has to do with the trade war. So we had an update. We had a lot of option plays, and we are going to talk about some options here. And we are going to go over the long term. But again, we might be advancing a little bit in terms of the market. So the big news today, it was the reciprocal tariffs. And we talked about this. This kind of had to do, the last 3 days, you dealt with a lot this whole entire week. We're about to close it out tomorrow with Friday, but with everything you dealt with, CPI, even the data today, we're going to talk about it. You didn't really move, and you handled a lot, but it really started last week, this whole idea of reciprocal tariffs. We were talking about it for almost a week now, and now you finally got the details of it. And pretty much the good news out of all of it, and this is where the market, we had a rumor that it wouldn't really be enacted till April, and it made a lot of sense during the time. We even made a play on it, but by the time they were announcing it, Trump was saying he is going to tariff anybody that tariffs us. But then he left them an off-ramp and said, hey, if you remove your tariffs or any other non-tariff item, so even like a VAT or any other way to charge American companies, as long as you drop those, you will not get hit. And they said it's going to be a case-by-case basis. And now here's the deal. Nice. I showed this chart today, and I showed you guys the other one that had to do with just the basic reciprocal tariffs. Now, the VAT, the value-added tax, this is where it gets like extremely volatile. You could see some really big changes, but now here's the deal. And this is why I think the market kind of took things well. Why do you think the market took it well when they said case by case basis? Any answers? You guys are live. Good evening. I know. What up, even people on the recap? I just got excited. We're going to talk about options and long term. But can you answer that? Why? Why do you think that's bullish? Well, no blanket tariffs. That is a very good point. I like that, and that was kind of mentioned at some point, but think about, even during the time, not only did Trump really leave an off-ramp for countries, we've already seen something so far. We're going to talk about it, but why would that idea of a case-by-case basis be bullish? Oh, there you go. I'll give it to you, Jive. I'll give it to you. Delays. Sadly. Habibi, I'm at the light, Habibi. 1 minute. Dude, if you did a case-by-case basis on all of these countries, how long do you think that would take? Even with Elon Musk, if you fire the whole entire government. So that's kind of bullish for Wall Street. Yeah, it gives it a lot of time, and that's something we've been talking about implementation. So in a way, I even said this, I think what Trump said today was actually very bearish. The whole idea of going here, and even said no exemptions, even for Apple like they had in 2018 during the trade war, even with China. Trump gave Apple an exemption back in the day. He said no exemptions, this is for everybody. And it was pretty bearish if you think about it. Tariffs, reciprocals, any sort of non-tariff barrier, you're still going to have to either reduce it or not. It could be very good as well if everybody plays along, but generally, the one good thing I think Wall Street liked, and again, we're now at the top of the range, and you're surviving something, is simply, it's going to take a little bit of time. So I have a way. I'll just tell you guys. Are you ready? I'll give you a way to describe the last couple of weeks, okay? Are you ready? Do you guys think this was a trade war? How would you describe this trade war? You could have a deep-seek cherry on top, but how would you describe it? Man, I haven't said we just got into this, man. Good evening. Soft landing trade war. I like that. Wow. Idle threats. Chaos. Negotiation, Habibi. Dollars very strong. No trade war. Egg war, Habibi. Non-existent war. Warning. I warn you. Pillow fight. Great answers. I'm sure there's more entertaining ones I did not read as well. But I'm calling it the pregame. So, yeah, I like that term. It is the pregame, my friends. Yeah, because if you really think about it, a lot of like talk and like, I think we are going to party eventually. But for now, I mean, nothing has happened. Canada, Mexico, the largest amount that is literally delayed still till April. And then this other stuff is going to be around April. And then case by case, that could take months to years. So if you really think about it, like we said, wait till escalation, agriculture, other industries, and as that starts to change, then you'll probably start to party, or it all works out well. I don't know. I mean, I used to be more of an optimist, but again, it could still work out as well. So we'll find out. I think it'll be very interesting, but that's what we dealt with. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the data. We're going to talk about options. We had some crazy plays today. It was actually active. Like I'm saying, during the day, we had a rumor, and we heard the rumor of the delay on the reciprocals, and it made sense. It pretty much, the rumor was Trump was going to do exactly what he did last time, every other time, where he says he's going to do it and then offer a way out in time. Market liked it. We made a play on it. That ended up going up a lot, 500%, and it held. And then there was news plays. There was buyouts of Papa John's by the Arabians. There's a lot of different things, man. So we had that. It was a lot of fun, but we also got to talk about the long term. Now, here is the deal. Before we get into that, good evening, my friends. How you doing? How are you living? Good evening. Yeah, so I hope you got that to start. I don't know. Good GE. I was like, what do you guys? I was like, was there news? I thought you were talking about the stock. Wow. Good evening, GE. Wow. Hello, Jamal, Scare, NRG, Anzo, Malcolm, Tim Whitman, Jiggy Josh, Johnny Stallings. What up, baby? How you doing, Tyree? Gus Gonzo, Soteri, Dago, Chase Samuels. What up, Richard? How you doing, baby? What up, Anzo? Oh, Skittles in the house. Hadita's in the house, baby. Oh, man, the lion. Oh, Joey Kakamo. Manaka. JG. Mr. Edwards. Wow. What up, Durkio? What up, King? I got King Kong in there. Oh, Donald Yates, baby. So, listen, if I missed you and you don't have a long term, it's a sign. Otherwise, if you have a long term, don't take it personally. That's why the long term's there. I love you. So here's the deal, man. Here's the deal. Do you want to? I'm going to start with a little bit of options. Okay? We had crazy option plays today. Absolutely insane. So insane. Oh, man. You have no idea. Better than DraftKings. Best thing you've ever seen in your life. So there will be plays like I told you. There will be a lot. God willing, we'll see. The dynamic changes a lot. It's a lot of stop and go. But you got to be fast, and you have to go small. Now, I made crazy plays today, but I didn't post them, so I have nothing to tell you. Okay, so if you thought you were going to get some gambly options tonight, I'm here to let you down very largely. But if you are wise, I think you will advance very far. And I will say this now on the record. Here is my one simple tip for you. Are you ready? If you are using more money to trade dailies than your long-term deposit, you, my friend, are doing it wrong, and you are on your own. Okay? Signed, stamped, and sealed. Sealed. Don't steal your future. No, but for real. I'm being dead serious. What am I talking about? Because there's going to be a lot of plays out there. And I really think, and we talked about it a lot today, because there was a lot of news. There was even news we were getting very early, and some of it hits, some of it doesn't. And you got to decide. And even when it does hit, it's like if you miss it, you miss it. You know what I'm saying? And it's a very difficult game. And it's really like there is opportunities, and you could turn a small amount of money. Like, dude, $10, $20 could turn into 100, even a couple hundred. Today, there was an opportunity, even $100, $1,000, $20 into $500, and that's all great, but it's only good if you're playing with it small, because it's very easy to overtrade, and it's very easy to swing and miss, and it's very easy to simply be late with a lot of these. So that's why it's like, but here's the beauty. I don't think you're going to have a low supply of them. That's why I don't think you should really fret over it. But again, I don't think you are going to get the real value of the channel, the stream, or anything if you don't have a really good strategy, and ultimately if you don't have a long term. And if you are chasing news trades as opposed to doing a long term, I think that is the worst idea you could come up with. And that's why I'm saying, as long as you are trading with an amount less than what you are adding to stocks that you are holding, which would be a minimum of 10%, I don't think you have an issue. You know what I'm saying? And I think you could control it, stay on a budget. And again, as long as you learn to hone in on the types of news that is actually effective, again, if stuff is early and being there, I think you could take it a long way with a really small amount of money. But you have to keep it small, and you have to be disciplined in that sense. But again, you will either love or regret your actions depending on if you realize that you could just buy some long-term stuff. And now we're going to talk about that, and I'm going to show you, again, even with a very, very small amount of money. But I do think that you could watch this stream, and I think if you are an option trader, I think you could benefit if you are locked in. I don't know, and I think you could ask anybody here who has done it. Even then, and this is what I'm saying, that arm play that I made today, essentially what happened, we got the news very early. It was before it literally hit anywhere. There was news about ARM and Meta in a partnership. So, that again, we get this within seconds. Not only is it, but like, again, I barely have a delay on the live stream. I'm yelling this out. I am an annoying individual, But literally in the first couple of minutes, man, you're very able to take advantage of it. But like, even on that play, I was up a couple 100% before I even had time to even type a stream alert. And that's why I sent it out and I said, take a look at it and be on the lookout. But like, that's why I even told everybody, I was like, bro, I'm already up. I went in with 10 contracts, and before I even knew it, I'm making it free. I talked about making every single play free. I don't even care what happens afterwards. And it's funny because after every play that I make free and it goes up, you're going to be like, oh, fuck. And then, but then when it goes down, you're going to be happy. So you got to have a strict discipline. With a small amount of money, I think you could get really effective moves if we do have an edge with the information. Very simple. But you keep it small because sometimes the information will be unreliable, or you could watch it where the dynamic changes very quick. Wall Street is finicky. I've been calling Intel every day, and now Intel is all of a sudden a meme stock. So, like I'm saying, if you're listening on stream, I think you could take advantage of it, but it really does come down to sometimes even I could give you guys a notice, and there's still time depending on the news, but you got to be strict with it. If you miss it, you miss it. But above all else, if you are trying to like trade news shit without a long term, or are using way more money than you are stacking in the long term, I'm just saying, one is guaranteed money versus not. The long term is going to do good, especially if you do it properly with good value, which we'll talk about here. But that is key number one. Now, as far as today, we talked about it a little bit in the beginning. Today you actually got action. And this is how I started the video. And this is why I'm like, bro, it's kind of good news because we actually moved, man. So, like, for real, I think even the NASDAQ is actually even breaking out a little bit more. But, like, you're finally at the top end. So if tomorrow goes really well with retail sales, you might actually get a breakout to a new all-time high. If not, you're going to have to wait, and then we'll see whatever rumor comes out from Reuters on Friday. That's always fun, right? So we'll find out. But either way, like I'm saying, you're actually kind of moving now. And I think it's because you survived this little tariff pregame. There was an answer today because the data came in hot. And, people are like, why are the hell are we going up? Why are we actually moving on hot data? It's because the technical quote unquote answer is because the PPI, although it went up, the core didn't go up, and that didn't impact the PCE forecast. So they bought it, and that's why the bonds ripped and came back higher than where the hot CPI was. So that was an interesting dynamic on the data. We'll see what tomorrow does. Again, I think bonds and market in general will react a little bit to it, so I don't think it'll be nothing, but it could easily be nothing. But at the same time, we've kind of gotten some weird reactions. But then, like I'm saying, by the time we heard about the reciprocals, there was a lot of tension around that idea. It was big. I think it was bearish. The steel stuff was the biggest action, and this week you went through all of this stuff, and it all ends with an off-ramp and nothing gets enacted till April. Although you are scared, technically, nothing has happened. I think China's the only one. So while everybody is telling you to pay more money for everything because of a tariff, I really believe $14 billion of goods on China is like the only thing we're dealing with. And then I think 2.5 on some European stuff. Cars, $60 billion. Not even, actually. I don't even think that gets enacted till September. So, yeah. So we'll see where this all plays out, but I think the market survived it for now. And that's why, in the meantime, like I said, if the data gets hot again, it's going to be risk on until rate cuts. So keep that in mind. You might start hearing it soon, but there is that. And now let's talk about the long term, my friend. Okay? Have you guys, I don't know, if we're going to, let me see. I hope I'm logged in. I should be, but are you familiar with the long term? Some of you are, some of you aren't. I feel bad because somebody asked the question today, and I said I didn't forget, and I ended up kind of forgetting. But this is the long term. This is the big one. Oh, I have Colt Sister too. This is the small one. And we started these a few years ago, half a decade ago, 5 years ago, or give or take. And the whole point was it was like $2,000 in the beginning. We put $200 a month in this one every month. And then we slowly raised it up 10% a year till we got up to $300 a year. So now it's $300 a year. That is assuming you save 10% of $36,000. And after a couple months, we did it small. They said, Josh, it's too small. So then we made the big one. And then we did the same thing, just 10 times the size. Why? Because you could do this no matter what the hell you are doing. It does not matter. It is very scalable. Now, here's the whole point. My brother, you only need one share at a time. $300 a month. So if you made $36,000 a year, $3,000 a month, and you saved 10% of that off top, you paid yourself first, that would be $300 a month. And then you would put that into stocks that you hold for a minimum of 10 years. And that's what it is. And get a long-term. And this is like really important for right now. And we have a lot of videos on this. And I'm telling you, even then, I could go into detail. I would love to. You should ask me tomorrow morning at like 6 a.m., bro. I'd love to talk about it. Believe me, I would love. So if I don't know, I hope I see you there. But at the end of the day, the thing about like right now is that I'm sure you're wondering, why would this guy tell me to buy stocks when they are the most expensive they have ever been in history, in the history of man? You know that as long as humans have been alive, there are certain stocks that are the most expensive they have ever been today. Wow. Maybe tomorrow too. So why? Why would you want to pay the most money ever? Does that sound like a good idea? Do you want to do it? I don't think it's Coke. Unless you're Coca-Cola. It's a good company. I like Coca-Cola. But I don't know if that's causing people to, but we'll talk about Coca-Cola. It's a great name we bought. Just buy Intel. Intel's becoming a meme stock. It's terrifying. So, it's a ridiculous idea. You're right. Why would you buy stocks at an all-time high right now? I agree with you. You getting a long-term, saving 10%. This isn't going to be something it will take years to actually see results that you are proud of. The first couple years will be filled with tremendous amounts of doubt. But the whole point is, right now, you could still buy stocks that are very high quality, and you could get them and they're not at all-time highs. Some of these are actually the cheapest they've been in years. And this is a great place to start. And that's what I'm saying. Little by little, you could even build up a little bit of cash. You're not required to do anything like quickly. The whole idea is save that 10%, put it in there. But there are some really, really good names. We are going to name some names today. I'm going to show you how you could even track them. Isn't that going to be fun? So by the end of this, you could ask me for the rest of your life, and I might be able to help you. I might not. Depends how well I slept that night. Or if you have the alerts and know how to follow it. But I will show you how you could keep up with it. Oh, and it's going to be great. So, but at the end of the day, like I'm saying, this is always something you could do. It's little by little. The results add up over time. But you don't need to go with a lot. We built everything literally one share at a time. You could even go half a share if you really needed to. Again, 10%. It doesn't matter what your 10% is, just minimum 10%. And at the end of the day, there's so many names that you could start with that aren't there. And you know, maybe one day in the next couple of years, maybe sooner, maybe later, there will be really, really good names that will become cheaper. Those are names that we've bought before, and we'll talk about it. But keep all of this in mind. You are going, and again, some of the names you're going to hear about, these should be names that are, again, not only are they not the most expensive they've ever been, but names you've been familiar with your whole life. So I don't know, dude. You know what? I want UPS. I haven't bought it yet, but that's a great value one for right now. It's 2025. I don't know if this will get better or worse, but at the end of the day, have you ever watched old movies? Have you guys watched any old movies? I don't know. Some of you are, any movie you watch is old, probably. Some of you don't even watch movie. Like, what's a movie? I have a YouTube, TikTok, YouTube short, TikTok short. What do I see? What do I consider old? I'm not answering this question. It's a trap. I don't think neutral rate, and we'll get there when we and the policy forecast could change. So every old movie, man, I see like an embedded UPS ad. Any movie, I'm telling you. I don't know, and it makes me want to buy UPS. It's terrible. And this may not be the most sophisticated advice, because none of this is advice. None of this video or anything is a recommendation. So be wise. I'm just a weird little Egyptian boy on the internet. I'm not the one you should listen to, but you should save 10%. That's a commandment. But at the end of the day, I hope you get what I'm saying here, because even though it may not be the most sophisticated stuff, starting with names that aren't the most expensive they've ever been, and names that you generally have used and interacted with your most of your life, or that you really believe will be around for 10 years, it's not like that's not a bad place to start or to use as a bare minimum guardrail. But then again, I don't know. That's up to you. But at the end of the day, this is what we mean by get a long term, especially right now in 2025, especially when it seems like there's a lot of stuff going on, because I think there will be a lot of opportunity, but there is a lot of opportunity. I think there will be in the future, but I also don't think you need to wait, as this is a plan this whole plan isn't based on acting now. This whole plan is about acting and consistently acting over time. Are you guys aware of that? So that's why the account only goes up. That's why it doesn't really matter what the F you do now, to a certain degree. It really doesn't. You just have to, you don't need to act now. There's no effing limited time only. There's no, I don't know, bro. Like, bro, you might get raptured before. I don't know. Get right with the Lord. But at the end of the day, there's no act now on this that determines, some moments there's great buys always. It just all depends as things change. But when it's all said and done, the whole plan is about just starting as soon as possible, consistently, even with the smallest amount and over time. And that is how you're going to be able to build something. And again, you work that in with trading and everything, man. You're going to be very, very good to go. But this is where you could really make sure you are walking away from the market with something good, and then you'll buy a house. Then who knows what you do, bro? Before you know it, you'll have $500,000 in assets. And that's this is off of 36,000 a year. I'm using this account as a model, but that being said, I hope you guys get that. And here's the deal: you could follow along with all of it. Go to youtube.com/the stock market. Go to the post tab. I post the long term. Every time I make a play, I post it on my Instagram. It will be on my Twitter. I have the Uncle Answers album on my Twitter pinned because I have it everywhere else. So I said, I'll make you work a little bit. Okay? Or you could sign up for the text alerts that are free. You legitimately have no effing excuse. And I mean that in a loving way, but also in the sense that this plan doesn't require much. If you really want the most basic thing to follow that you could build off of, and I'm going to show you what you should be doing with my account. Do you copy it? No. You can, and I don't think it'll be that bad, but that's not the recommendation. And one thing I've told a lot of people is that look at the names that I'm down on. And if you really go look at the portfolio, go see, again, we have the screenshots everywhere. And even then, like I could show you now in real time, go to the names that I'm down on, and you could see, again, you could see what I paid on cost per share. And then let's see, gain or loss. Go to the names that I'm down on. And what I'm saying is, like, most names that if I'm down more than like 20%, I probably haven't bought it in years. You could check in with me and take a look. But at the end of the day, I would focus on the names that I'm down on if you really want some ideas. Because, again, some of the names, I don't like telling people. I'm not here to tell you buy the stock. Yeah, here, I bought this, pay 20% more than I did. You know, we've learned a lot over the years, and people get excited, but usually that's not the best strategy. You know, we've had some good pickups. We've had some bad pickups, but generally the good really does outweigh the bad. But if you are patient, give yourself that time, I think you could go and just, again, buy what's good at the time, little by little. You'll work your way in. Don't sit there doing nothing for too long. Don't get too aggressive on poopy, and you'll be fine. But looking and tracking the portfolio through all of the resources, you could watch the names that are down. If I'm up on it, I don't really want to buy more. Usually, if I run out of names to buy, because now, if I'm, like, think about it, if I'm up on a name, I'm going to keep letting it work. We have a 10-year plan on a lot of these, but the names that I'm down on, if I still like them, I'm probably going to keep averaging into them and keep buying them. Again, I mean, Intel was a name we were down on. I think that was our latest purchase, like end of the year, or the other one besides NVO. So it's a good idea. You could wait, be patient, stack it up, but this is how I would be using it and tracking everything. So follow along. And again, if it's more than 20%, you could ask me when I last bought it. But some of those, I plan on leaving them there. And it's a really good point, because at the end of the day, you know, sometimes, again, I like the 10-year plan. I know modern days people like to rebalance and cut the losers and all of that. But I think in 10 years we will. And I think, you know, we'll give things, you know, we bought things for a reason at the time. Some things failed. Some things are still hanging on for dear life. But at the end of the day, it's like you've seen it over the years. It's actually been kind of wild. But, like, I don't know. I don't really like Beyond Meat anymore, or like Beyond. Walgreens did bad. And, like, some of these are, like, totally guttered. We have a Big Commerce on the big account. Let's see this one. Dividend. We got dividend. I love the dividends, man. Yeah, like Big Commerce, Beyond down 80%. Again, thankfully it was smaller amounts because we just stopped buying them. That's why people are like, why don't you sell? I just stopped buying them and we keep the value. But I say that because at the same time, like Coinbase, even they're up right now. We're going to do even better. We're up 20% on Coinbase. DraftKings, I got covered calls or break even. I think after their earnings, it's going to be up, you know? But at the end of the day, it's like, bro, do you not remember these names were down 80 to 90%? No exaggeration. So again, that's what I'm saying. Unfortunately, if you bought it when I bought it and you had to do the downtrend with me, it sucked on those. If you bought the names I was down on, you probably are up a lot if they're now green. But do you see where I'm saying? Where, again, even in a couple of years, some plays that we are up on and now are like helping out our portfolio, they were down 80% not too long ago. So we'll rebalance in, after enough time. I'm very patient, and that's kind of the whole idea with all of this. So I wouldn't trip out, and that's why I'm saying this is how you can follow along. Little by little, I think you'll get tremendous value, and then, some good, transparent, quick information. If you could use that the right way, you'll be good. But if you're trying to put more money towards that than this, I don't think any of my plans or strategies will be of any value to you, my friend. So I hope you enjoyed that. And now it's a long-term review day, and I told you guys my long-term goal last year. Do you guys remember what my long-term goal was last year? Let's see. Pop mother effing quiz. They said they want the econ lessons. This has nothing to do with econ. What was my goal last year for the long term? Well, I guess you guys do pay attention. You guys really do, man. I told you. The amount of long term, some of y'all, man, y'all did it faithfully. Is beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. You have no effing idea, man. Amen. So yeah, y'all know the damn. Amen. Yeah, bro. I wanted to increase my dividend at least by like 50%. You guys would know. So that was the goal for last year. I told you, I came in this year. I was like, I don't even know what my goal is this year, man. I felt like you would think I went full like Jack Dorsey. I don't know what's my goal. What's my goal? What's my goal? Sam Altman, what? But no, I figured it out, man. I figured it out. God willing. Even if here's the deal. This is a good plan, I think. Because it comes with a win-win. I like a win-win scenario. My goal this year, my friends, are you ready? Beyond Intel CEO. Amen. My goal this year is a diamond. I want a diamond. You know that? No, I want a diamond. I want a stock I can marry. Yeah, that's worth the rock. Y'all keep telling me to get married. I want a diamond for a stock. I want a diamond stock. Diamond. Do you know what this means? A diamond. No, I want a diamond stock, bro. Honestly, a great example is Meta, Netflix, JP Morgan, Abivi. Those are diamonds. Those are great. Yeah. Bro, that's what we need this year. We need the highest quality stock. Either the new Mag 7 or we get NVIDIA. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't happen this year. But my idea is that at this point, even then, there's a couple of weird implications. But at this point, the account is getting pretty big. And it's starting to grow. But, like, if we save $300, that'd be $3,600. Right? We have, that's counting the random. Yeah, but think about it. $3,600 on this account, that's a little bit more than 10%. Same thing here. 36,000, you got 24, that'll be like 15%, I think. So do you see what I'm talking about? If I saved every single deposit this year, right? And I already used one, damn it. So, subtract that. But if I used every single deposit, I would have just above 10% cash in the account. That's kind of a dilemma if you think about it. We bought a lot of stock. Because that means if I spent a whole entire year buying nothing and the account doesn't really keep going insane, I will have 10% give or take of cash. Like I told you, the max is 20. So we do get our dividend, but we reinvest all of them. We plan to in the future. Well, you could call it risky. I think we got some good ones, but generally, more cash will give us more opportunity. So it might be time to sit on our hands and wait for something really, really good. I mean, if some of the China stuff gets cheaper, we could add more. But again, China's giving us the growth we wanted, but we kept the positioning to like 10% of the portfolio for simply because, communism's not a really good idea. You know what I'm saying? So, but hey, I like the gains while they're there. But again, that's kind of why, so although I would want to put all my money there, again, refer back to that communism and the whole socialist rule is not necessarily the, value amplifying, as some would say. But either way, I mean, yeah, I've been saying, I believe in the hard landing, but even without the hard landing, it doesn't matter. That's the idea, because even if the hard landing doesn't happen, our account is positioned very well. We're already outperforming heavy on this year. Some of you guys have other additions that have added or even taken away a little bit, but generally, if nothing bad happens, we'll be good. And now, even if something did happen, if we saved every damn deposit, we wouldn't even have 10% cash. And the way I'm looking at it is this. I'm not opposed buying anything, but really this year, if you have an established long-term, if you're not buying the value names, or if you're not, if you're just starting, you could start with a lot of different value. But if you have already, kind of where we're at with this long-term, I'll buy anything, but I want something very high quality. Like, think Meta, think like the biggest names in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me put it this way. And you know why? I didn't think about it till right now. This is going to sound ridiculous, but this is the first thing that came to my mind. You know what it reminds me of? I want you to think about the Luka Doncic trade. That's what I want you to think about. Okay? Yes, we did get Meta. That's what I'm saying, though. Like, that was that's what we need. I think we could get it. Do you see what I'm saying? I really think I think we live in a world where somebody is going to offer us Luka for Aaron Davis. You see what I'm saying? So at this point, if we're already positioned well, somewhat defensively, we bought value. We just grew our fucking dividend for a damn year, 2 years. You got good growth. You have even some nice individual economic names. Even then, if some things start to take off, it'll be very nice. So at the end of the day, I want a very high bar if you already have established your long-term. So if your long-term is like mine, you're a couple years into it, and then, even if you save, you build, again, you get 4%. It's a win-win. So even then, it's just like buying a dividend stock that will not go up or down for a year. Worst case scenario. We get 4%, so my dividend will still go up this year. That's the good part. But then at the end of the day, if anything, I have a really high bar. I really want something I want a Meta at $90. I won't be that cheap, okay? I promise. That's the thing. If it's good enough, just don't be cheap. Thank God this is a video. We'll come back to this. Remind me. But yeah, that's kind of what I would be doing. But if you are just starting, you focus on the value names. You go on the names that are, about. Again, there's names that we already have. You could start building out some quality names. And again, like I said, we have a lot of videos on it, but you don't have to sit there and wait for a year to buy one stock if you never have built a long term. I would start looking at the names I'm down on. I would start thinking about names you like. And now here's the deal. Are you guys ready? Here's a great place to start now, because I'm giving you the plan of what I want to do, and I gave you guys my goal. But now, shout out to Tim Whitman. We're going to talk about Tim Whitman in a little bit, but Tim Whitman gave us this link. He gave me a nice assist. I looked at my email before. He sent me this link, and I said, you know what? This is very, very effing easy. So take a look. I'm posting the link in the chat. I don't know this company. I don't endorse them. So if they cover you in baby oil and do some Diddy stuff, that's not my responsibility. If they trick you into a prop fund, that's your poor judgment and your greed working against you. So don't fall. I don't know what they endorse, sell, or anything. That's all you. Don't get Diddied. It's a dangerous environment you're in. So that's why, even then, always get a long term. But that being said, here's the website. It's just that link I posted. It takes you this. I'm only, you guys see part of it. This is just easier, but it's showing you year-to-date returns. So take this website and go all the way to the bottom. I don't even think you see it fully. Oh, wait, did it go? There it is. Right here. And here's the tickers. It says the company's name, but go with names that you know about. And literally, this is what I was doing. Let me show you. So I'll put it, because I have multiple screens, but I think I can find a way to do it like this. I think it might work. This is a great place to start, I'm telling you. Because if you see a name that you know about, you could just type it in. So I like, again, this is one I've talked about it, like the casinos. Las Vegas. I don't like casinos, but I do because I'm like the Wynn. Oh, I hate these charts. But like pull this out. The E-Trade charts are better. I think you could see it a lot better. But like LVS, this one's down on the year. So you could buy this stock right now cheaper than all of last year. But then again, pull this out. Las Vegas Sands. You might have stayed at one of their hotels. You know about it. At the very least, it's got 2020 levels. That, again, I don't know. Wynn is the same. You know about Wynn. You know Steve Wynn. Everybody loves staying at the Wynn. I like the Wynn. I love the hotel. I like the casino in Vegas. That's what I'm saying. Some of these, you know about these companies. I don't know if that's where you want to start. All I'm saying is that you should go through this list. You could see what I have as some examples, but a lot of these names you might know about. Ulta, this is a growth stock. I already own it, and in the small account, we're up on it, but I said I might want to buy it on the big account. You're at least getting this thing. A couple years back, we bought it down here, so I know it's still up, so I could be patient with this, but I know Ulta, at the very least, you could buy this cheaper than at least a few points last year. So maybe, again, you could wait on it, but go to that link, go through all these. Oh, there's another one. I think Merck was on the list. Southwest, I think, yeah, MRK was right above Ulta. Merck is a great company. Merck is a great medical company. I like Pfizer, but Merck gave them some hell recently. They've also done bad, but at the end of the day, you're getting this at like 2020 levels. You're going back a few years, pays a dividend. Yeah, Hershey's, that's one. Again, these are ones I've already been talking about. These are on my list. Hershey's, we were talking about it the other day, but that's already up like $30, but still very cheap on the year. Who's the other one? UPS. I like this one's dropped recently because of earnings. I like them a lot. So this one, that's what I'm saying. Maybe I build up cash. This one looks tempting with the dividend, but then again, the cash is still at 4, if you know what I'm saying. But, dude, there's a lot of different names out there where I'm like, and again, it doesn't have to be multi-year low. It could be a couple years. But at the end of the day, it's like, this is what I mean when people are like, it's not, I agree with you. If you're like, why would I buy stocks at an all-time high? I really agree with you. And that's the whole point, is like, you don't have to buy just the index. And there's just a lot of names right now that you probably know about, that you've known about your whole life, and they're still actually maybe even cheaper than the pandemic or cheaper than a decade ago. Again, like Estee Lauder, it's probably cheaper than when your mom actually used to wear it or something. You know what I'm saying? Or like, it's kind of crazy. And again, some of these might do really bad. Others might recover, but you're going to go little by little. You go small, but do you get what I'm saying? It doesn't really, you know, it's this idea that everything is expensive, I think is nonsense. And that's why I'm like, you know, and by the time, if you focus on the names that are down, by the time things start to shift, maybe the names you want now that are too expensive, they will come down and be cheaper. So, I don't know, man. And we could talk about it a little bit more. And yeah, man, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. And I've been telling people a lot lately, like, it's exciting. We've seen a lot of good results. All of these accounts, and like I said, bro, I might not do, like, this it's getting kind of crazy, bro. You know, this account, even year to date, it's done very, very well, but I'm about to go above the FDIC limit, man, you know? I feel bad, you guys, because I know you want me to keep this, but I'm like, man, it's about to go past 250, bro. Like, we should just buy a house, bro. I might let it go up to like $500,000 in the next couple of years. But because again, I like to move around the 250. You got to stay under the limit, bro. I don't trust them. But nah, I'll give I know the chart looks nice, but we got to think about that because it got here pretty quick. Or you got to maybe turn it to a crib and start another one. And then we keep this small one. But yeah, it's growing, bro. It's growing. It's growing, bro. but think houses. But like I'm saying, the best time to plant, this wasn't immediate. It's all just, again, nothing that you're hearing here, none of this success you have heard or seen, none of this is like act now. This is not a Solana meme coin. You will not get rug pulled. That's why the chart only goes up. But at the end of the day, it's not about act now with all your money as quickly as possible today, immediately. It's all little by little over time, over the years. Best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is today. Okay, my friends? And that's why, why Tim Whitman, not only did he give me that link, not only is he a really funny man, he's great all over in the chat, on Twitter. I'm telling you, it's like funny because you have no idea, man. You have no idea with Tim Whitman. My brother hesitated for a while. Tim Whitman, he kind of had like an external crisis over the long term. He waited for a long time. He waited. It's kind of crazy. It's funny because he sends me his long-term updates, and I'm so happy. He sends me the long-term in the first thread that he emailed me on. Like, it was his coming to long-term moment where he was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. I think I might have yelled at him one day, and I told him to get his money out of one account. And I said, take it. He had $9,000. Yeah, I don't know what it was in. I think it was in poopy water. And I said, just get that shit out and make a damn long-term. No options, no nothing. Repent. Be forgiven. Clean yourself. Get a brand new account with that money and only long-term and save 10%. And again, the point is, long story short, I loved it. It was a great thing because, dude, that email was March of 2023. That's just like under 2 years right now. That's insane. So this is his account. He's grown it now to like 34,000 savings, 44% gain. Everything. Again, he focused on quality. It's funny because, like, again, the back and forth over the years. But, dude, I'm bringing this up because I'm like, at the same point, the long term was already going up, and that was part of his struggle. It's not like Tim didn't, get this talk when the market was the cheapest ever. You know what I'm saying? Tim, I get it. He's gone through investing. He's seen a lot now, and then you're like, oh, I missed out. But at the end of the day, you had some other cheap value traps too. But at the end of the day, man, it's just like you're not really too late to any capacity. Because that's even in 2 years. That's a very, very good turnaround. I don't know why. I didn't know if it was sooner or longer, but that seems very impressive. And again, you have quality now. He bought some good names in there. They're literally as Procter Gamble. And then again, as I was saying, some of you guys have heard about things too, and you don't have to get what I have. You don't see that? He has Palantir. He is up 600% on Palantir. I don't know if he has the Meta, but if you got the Palantir. So do you see what I'm saying, bro? You have all these opportunities little by little, but even if it was like, if you felt like you missed a moment, it's not about that. You didn't miss anything. You could legitimately start now as long as you don't get, too excited and fizzle out over the ups and downs. It's all about consistency. You will get an account that will grow, and it will grow, and no matter what happens, it'll grow. And you could still trade, and you could figure out anything else on the side, and you could use the stream and whatever info. But this way, you're going to walk away with something. And then, again, especially depending on how ambitious you are, I think it's a good idea to move it to real estate. That's why even this case, that's why I kept saying, if I was in this situation, like if I was doing the $36,000 a year, and again, I'm assuming you make, if you started saving like this in 5 years, I'd assume you grew that income. But at the end of the day, it's like, bro, you start to have 26,000, 27, I would start thinking about a house. I really, I don't understand why I wouldn't. Again, FHA loans in other ways, just like that's a great opportunity. I talked about it. I posted a little Twitter thread, but it's just simple. If the stars align, you got a job, you did the savings, you build one of these long-term after a couple of years, it's able to grow just gradually. And sometimes it'll outperform, sometimes it won't. But even the savings and the compounding of all of it after a couple of years, it's a down payment. And I said, even anybody who followed along with this in a couple of years, man, this 27,000, you could use half of it. If the job and the stars align, it's going to take a little bit of work with the loan, but if you do qualify for a FHA loan, you can now, by the end of this year or whenever you want, I think end of this year, there's no rush. You got to find the right one, right opportunity, but it's like you could get $500,000 in assets by the end of this year. You'll have half of this portfolio and real estate. So that was something that I really would think. And again, too, just at the end of the day, what is a question I get asked a lot when it comes to the long term? It's like an obvious question, and it gets asked a lot. What do you think it is? What do you think it is? If you have plenty of cash, no W-2, you're going to have more down payment. So you're going to need to use more of that long term. Yeah. Sell. Bro, we got Meta up. You have all these names up a lot. Should we sell? We had Snapchat go up a lot, then it died. There you go. Should we sell? We should sell. Why should we sell? We should sell. Should we sell? Should we sell? Let's sell. You want to sell? Should we sell? No? So, it's a very valid question. Some of you think that I think it's blasphemy, and sometimes I do. But there's nothing wrong with selling if you have a plan, my brother. Do you really have a plan? And what I mean is real estate or a much higher value business, maybe even a private company. That's something I've always said. That's why I'm saying if this was my account and I was growing this and you're like, even then, let me just put it this way. If you ever look at your long term and you're like, I think the stock market's too high, it's going to crash, I should sell. What you should do instead is say, I think the market's too high, I want to sell, and then go look for real estate. I know it sounds counterintuitive, but that's what you should do. That's what I'm saying. So even if you want an excuse to sell, your only excuse to sell should be real estate. You're right. You're like, wow, I should take profits. Literally, you're up 100% in a year or two, doubled, tripled. Even if you had lower income, that's a lot. So why not? But do you see what I'm saying? If you really insisted on selling and you're like, wow, this is overvalued or whatever, that is the door that you would open then. I would go shopping for real estate. I would buy a house. I'd put that to a real asset. So that's how I would be thinking. None of this recommendation. You'll figure it out. But like I've said, how we've built this, I built this account for you guys because, again, that was the whole point 5 years later. Every time I tell people about my success in the stock market, it's the same story. And it's long-term holding. And, I got to buy a lot of different things over the years. But every time they're like, I can't do it now. It's too high. And then I said, okay. And that's why we did it. That's why we have these YouTube accounts. That's why I've done all of it publicly. And we said, look, you can start at any time. And that's, and it's crazy how the years, we still have Colt Sister. That account did well as well too. But at the end of the day, man, this is how it is. But this is how I'd be thinking about things. And that's what I'm looking at it. And I'm in shock because I'm like, man, this is great. And I know literally, bro, there's like hundreds, if not, there's actually thousands of you guys that have actually done this. And it's a beautiful thing. So I'm very excited and you should be too. And now I hope many doors are open to you. And if you desire that, I really hope that you start now with 10% savings and little by little and don't overwhelm yourself because it's not about acting now. It's just all about acting consistently. You know what I'm saying? That's it. That's very, very good, man. That's good. So that being said, God bless you. God bless America. Get the long term. Is there any questions? Is there any questions in the crowd? Hello. Long term, short term. Welcome to the war. GG. the monthly payment. Well, that's where it comes down to the work. And that's why, like as I said, it's a little bit harder if the stars align. For some people, it does. Or you could look to a multi-unit to offset it. Maybe that would be affordable. Otherwise, you'll have to put more of a down payment. I would look out of state, believe it or not, or somewhere the cheaper parts of California. I've done very well in my career on the cheaper parts of California. If you've even watched my videos, I've talked about it back almost 10 years ago. Some of you know about it, but like when San Diego and LA was expensive, I was buying a lot of the shitholes in between all of those areas. They were cheap. They were 200 grand at some point, 100 grand for some of them. And they still exist in different places. If you really want a challenge, you could go outside if you want. Out of state, I really do like certain areas that are cheap, man. I think there's a lot of good, cheap property in America. Let me see if I still have it. Bro, I'm telling you, I could fucking wing it and throw you 1 million of them right now. You have no idea. I'm telling you, seek and ye shall find. Is this it? Yeah. How do I open the tweet, Habibi? This is the tweet. Yeah, look. I was showing this. Again, this is when I posted that thread talking about the long term. But, like, dude, these are out of state. This one's in Cali. This is $500,000. So you could get the FH loan, but this is a 2-unit. So this is like 2 1,000 square foot houses. You could probably rent 1 unit for like maybe $2,000. 2, 3, I don't know. It all depends. But this is in Cali. This is in Southern California. 2 units, 500 grand. Maybe that could help offset it or not. But like I'm saying, that's a little bit on the higher end. But this is Buffalo, I think. That one's that's not Buffalo. Or these two might be Buffalo. This one's Texas. This one's either Dallas or San Antonio. 3,000 square feet. 2 townhouses. $340. So, yeah. My handle on Twitter. What was it like me showing you my Twitter on the screen? Was it this picture? Do you see the picture? Was this the picture that made you ask for my Twitter? Because if it is, I encourage you to see that Real Cold News is my Twitter. I love you. But yeah, multi-units. I mean, that's a great way too, but yeah, they exist. Oh, I think I missed a lot. You guys could repeat the questions or I'm trying to see. Well, dude, they are Wall Street bets. I mean, here's the deal with Intel. I love Intel. Actually, dude, I've never called at night. What happens if we call at night?
Thank you for calling Intel.
You think he's awake?
Options. If you know the name of the switchboard is currently closed. If this is an emergency, please press 1 for security.
I did it. Okay, I can't do it. It's not an emergency. I didn't want. I felt no, man. I don't want it. I'm too scared. I don't want to. I'm Middle Eastern. I can't joke like that. Don't get me. I can't, bro. You can, bro. You can. Kyle, that's up to you. Can, but I can't, man. That's all you. But nah, man. That's it. It's not gonna work. It closed though. That's great. Am I faded? I'm not, but I'm gonna guess that you are, Stoner Steve. I think you're banned on the other channel, Stoner Steve. So it's good to see you from time to time. That's good, man. But it's been a long day, man. Long day. And I am leaving early tomorrow too. I'm gonna miss you guys. I'm proposing to my girlfriend. That's an excuse to garner sympathy. Hopefully I could raise money from the government. USAID. But if you have any more questions, let me know. I'm here for you. I'm not proposing. Yeah, I'm not. But it's a good excuse. People like it. People like it. But I'm going to take my girl out. It's Valentine's Day. So I have something for her, but it's not a ring. So calm down. I'm leaving. Yeah, bro. I have to go. I have to, I just needed an extra hour. I got my mom, I got my girlfriend, bro. Life, like we got this. That's it, man. Please stay. I have a long term. The long term. That's it. Please save 10%. Mm-hmm. I wish you and the bride the best. Thank you. Off market for 150 acres in Palisades. Well, it all depends on the price, my friend. You could email me it though. Tradingfraternity@gmail.com. Transfer everything from Robinhood to Charles. If you want, I haven't, I've had a love-hate relationship with Robinhood. They limited one of my tweets. I responded back to them the other day. They didn't like it. But, yeah, it's up to you, man. As long as you don't go to China, then that's the only thing I've ever really cautioned against. But fucking kids like DeepSeek and shit, what do I know? So don't listen to me, man. Just, okay, sorry, yeah. I'll buy K-Web, that's fine with me. I'll buy Baba stock. I'll never give Jack Ma my social security. I'd let him steal it like a real communist. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you talking about? I'm not going to give it to him. He could steal it. He probably did. That's fine with me. But I'm not going to give it to him. How dare you? I'm not going to. Why would I sign a waiver to him? That's insanity. What's wrong with you? But that's your choice. I don't know. I think it's on a key. You are on your own. Again, I have a certain set of guidelines. Anything outside of those guidelines turns into the chocolate factory. Fat amount you want to close on a home. You can reach out. I mean, I said it today. There's a lot of Chads, bro. I'm talking like hundreds, close to thousands of Chads that are like ready to go. So we have co-agents everywhere, and I want to have like 2 co-agents to every person to help them. And like, again, like find the right things, even look in the right locations, aim for the best location in your area, and really be good with it. But always down to give my feedback, and that's what I'm saying, get it organized. So you could email me, let me know it's good with it, but let me know the area, and I'm most likely going to refer you to a couple of agents, and then again, they'll be there and you touch base with me too. But that way, I want a real defined focus with it. But there's a lot, yeah. So email me. I'm going to have a more defined system for it. But at the end of the day, like we've always been doing, I mean, if you are just like anybody, if you're going to buy a house, you email me. Usually on stream, if you email me and I could take a look and I could just tell you what I think of the value. And that's the thing you got to really look for now. You guys who saved 5 years, it's not about just buying a fucking house. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm like, listen, like you got to think ahead. You're in a good spot. You're not going to you're not going to marry the first fucking girl, dude. The house, this is going to be a big decision now. This is even bigger. Like when I say 500,000 in assets by the end of the year, like we're not talking, small things, so this is something where you really want to find a good house, something that works, that is reasonable, realistic, and that's going to have good upside, have good demand, utility, all of that stuff. So, and then again, that's what I'm saying, go on the hunt. If you have the money now, you could get the loan, or that's where you start learning and confirm that, and then you literally go from there. So I think it's going to be really good, but yes, that's why I'm like, so if you guys want, I want you to be in touch. You could be in touch with somebody depending on, I think we have most states, but at the end of the day, even with or without it, I'll always give you my feedback on what is a good property or not. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, that's all we got to do. Number one, long term. Happy vibe, baby. Happy vibe. You're sweating with this bout of success. Hey, man, put it to work, baby. Even then, and if it's all recent, don't be afraid to take 30 days. Always. It's not. I mean, it's technically not advice. None of this is a recommendation. You will lose all your money. Don't be a fool. Save it. It's good. Buy good assets. I like real estate, man. That's it. That's my way to safely leverage a lot of money. And it's good. And again, even then, stocks and real estate, bro, it works beautifully. And I'm saying, if you want to think about it and you're like, man, I want to sell these stocks. It made me a lot of money. This Bitcoin, put it to a house, man. Turn it into a real life trophy, a real asset. Bro, people are going insane for fucking gold. That's a real asset. The next thing closest is the other metals and then a house. It's made out of wood and shit. Man. Habibi. You found a property you could buy with a HELOC, improve the cash flow. Whoa. What do you mean? Do you already own it, or are you going to buy a property and then pull the money out? And then you're going to get cash flow on the property by $2,500? Oh, I think that makes sense. But even then, I mean, if I like easy, you could always do easy. You know, where if it's not like, hopefully you don't have to do too much to add value. But I don't like pulling money out. If it's not, again, I like little money down ideally, but you know, always be careful and mindful with the whole buy, pull out, you know, literally the damn fucking plot of The Big Short. But yeah. Silver's the move. Okay. Well, I like silver. But I just like physical assets. I like the physical assets that are good for physical shit. I don't really use gold or silver, but generally the real assets. After selling the long term, building the long term again, let's go, baby. Oh, yeah. So, Intel. I was going to tell you guys about that. So, here's the thing. Before you all distracted me. So, Intel's becoming a meme stock. That's the easy way to describe it. The wire's in the way. I can't, dude, it's insane. If you ask somebody right now why Intel is up, they will give you 5-6 different reasons. From politics, J.D. Vance, a supercomputer, Donald Trump, a TSM government forced merger, Josh Answers, the CEO. Dude, it's a lot of things. But it all, I was thinking, and then GSK, new CEO rumor. Bro, there's no explanation to it. It's literally, it's Wall Street bets. It's either something legitimate is happening and the company is making like major moves, or it's literally fucking Wall Street bets. There's no other, that's it. Because I'm telling you, none of the news adds up. I'm telling you, it's not one part of it is like, yeah, that it's just one thing. No, it's 5-10 different things. Motherfuckers don't know. They're just buying it. So, yeah. That's how I feel about it. So it's either real or it's just people buying it. At the end of the day, I mean, it doesn't matter to us. We were already in it. Ta-da! So, yeah. We'll find out. But that's, if you were wondering, there's a lot, rumors and everything. I don't know what's true or not, but we already liked the value for a long time. I'm even down on it. But I think we're about to go green on in the long term, and then I have a lot of other shares that I'm still, I think, like 10, 12% away. But we could do that in a day now, apparently. That happens every day. So we'll see. Now, J.D. Vance mentioned, like, U.S. companies. That's what started it. And then there's a mention, like, it was reported a lot. It started as a rumor yesterday, and then everybody was talking about it today that there could be a forced joint venture with TSM and Intel, that the government could force it, and then that got it going, and then, again, all the other rumors in between. So, yeah. Might be a buyout from Musk. Wow. That'd be nice. Intel to a diamond stock? No. That's the whole point. We're going to deposit. We're going to save. Our account is perfect. I mean, I like it. I was always adequate, and it's doing good. But no, man, there's, maybe in 5 years, when some of the stocks we've already held for 5 years mature, we can make that decision. But for now, we stack up and let the market provide, my friend. It's really the Lord, but they don't like that. Hold on, right there. Mm-hmm. What else we got? Oh, man, we've been here for an hour, baby. So good day. What time is it? I need approach still. Mm-hmm. The next crash? I don't know. I think it'll either be bonds explode and die and yields you haven't seen in a while, or, yeah, everything Donald Trump fixes the world. I don't know any other way to put it to you. I know it sounds absolutely ridiculous. It's either he destroys it or helps it. It like fixes. I don't know any other way to tell you this. So yeah. Either way, diversification will probably be good, and awareness and little by little will bring you through. Either or. Mm-hmm. DJT is not Sky Daddy. He's not. I agree. But this is drastic policy measures that haven't really been tried in a really long time. And even the whole reciprocal tariff thing today. So it's going to be exciting. Again, implications will be very, very interesting. I'm very excited. I mean, if NVO gets a lot cheaper, I'm down. I think I go up on it. I go down. Hasn't really moved much from where we bought it. It's a little bit lower. We got, again, 79.80 was where we were at. But if it gets a lot cheaper, I'm down. But other than that, yeah, I don't know. That could be the diamond at the right price, but I'll just stack up 4% until it gets a lot cheaper, and then we could put a lot. Airbnb did good. They guided up. They even beat the sandbag, and I don't know, Wall Street. It's been a long time since you've seen candles like this on Airbnb. So I hope it holds when it opens tomorrow, but it's been a very, like, these big-ass giant greens that, like, stick. It has been a while since Airbnb did that. So, inshallah, Habibi. Inshallah. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. But that being said, I think we might call it Chattadonia on Airbnb. Shout out the long term. Shout out the long term. So I hope you have a wonderful evening. I hope you take everything in this video to heart. And I hope you are ready to plant and are ready for the future. And if you're not, God bless you and good luck. Other than that, we continue to go forward. I will see you tomorrow morning, God willing. But in the meantime, be blessed, okay? When you go to bed tonight, just remember you're blessed. No matter what, be prepared for disappointment. That's how you do it, little by little. You can't be disappointed. You see, if you expect it, okay, you're not expecting, act now. Oh my gosh, no, little by little. You're going to win with the consistency, my friend. That's why it's calming. It's very relaxing. They don't feel me. I hope you get it. So that's it. You're blessed. That little head on that little pillow. Look at you. You're a blessing, bro. What are you saying? What are you saying? You got savings? You're crazy, bro. It's game time. Rest well, my bro. May the Lord protect you. You pray for me. I'm going to pray for you. I'll see you in the morning. Have a wonderful one. And peace out. Horna.